Hello and welcome to Yoga Natyam. Let's begin in a seated position with legs crossed, palms open inside the knees and eyes closed. Turn your attention to your breath. Three-part pranayama. As you inhale, feel the low abdomen expand first, followed by the rib cage, and finally the chest fills. And as you exhale, allow the chest to empty first, followed by the rib cage, and then the low abdomen last. Continue repeating in time with inhale and exhale. And then the next time you finish an exhale, gently drop the chin down to the chest. And on an inhale, circle the right ear over towards the right shoulder. As you exhale, draw a half circle forward with the head. The chin passes the chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. And repeat that half circle action with breath. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, circle forward. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Repeat. And when you feel ready to complete a circle, add the back space. Open the chin up, float the weight of the head up off the neck. Draw a full circle. Continue in the same direction several times. Imagine you're wearing a turtleneck and you don't want to wrinkle the fabric at the back of the neck. And the next time the chin comes down to the chest, reverse directions. On your next exhale, finish with the chin at the chest, and on your inhale, bring your gaze up. Roll the shoulders up and then down the back 3 times. Inhale, shoulders up the front. Exhale, down the back. One more. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, leave the shoulders down the back. Inhale, take a big breath wide through the arms. Join palms together and exhale, drag the hands down the midline. Connect into the earth and walk forward. Here, breathe into the back of your body. Allow the volume at the back of the ribs to fill with breath. And then on your next exhale, walk your hands back in towards your lap and switch your legs. Send the front leg to the back leg to the front. Open palms up inside the knees. Close your eyes. Return to 3-part yogic breathing. As you inhale, the low abdomen expands like a balloon filling with air. The ribs expand, and finally the chest lifts and expands. And then as you exhale, the chest deflates first, followed by the ribs, followed by the low abdomen. Repeat. And then on your next exhale, gently drop the chin down to the chest. And on your inhale, circle the left ear towards the left shoulder. Exhale, drop the chin over the chest into a half circle forward. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Exhale, half circle for the head forward. Inhale, left ear, left. Exhale through the forward center space. Inhale, right ear, right. exhale, cross through the center and then add the back space, a full circle for the head, a full circle for the neck. Be sure you're lifting the weight of your head up off the neck as you circle into that back space so the vertebrae of the neck don't shorten, but continue to lengthen. And the next time the chin comes down to the chest, reverse directions. And then as you exhale and the chin drops to the chest next, inhale, bring the gaze up, roll the shoulders up the front, exhale, send the shoulders down the back. 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders up the front, exhale, down the back, and 1 more. Big circle, massage for the upper back and shoulders. And as you exhale, leave the shoulders down the back. Inhale, take a big breath wide through the arms. Bring the palms together and honor the head, honor the heart as the hands come down the midline. Connect to the earth and walk forward. Breathe into the back of your body in this forward bend. Tone your abdominals up and in with each exhale. Feel the energy of the head reaching forward to the front of the mat. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, walk your hands back towards your lap. Move forward into tabletop position, either rolling over the knees or send your legs around the back. Stack your shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Take an inhale with the spine parallel to the floor. And as you exhale, round your back into cat pose, tail down, chin to the chest. Inhale, tip the hips forward, sway back into cow, open the collarbones and throat. Exhale, round your spine, cat. Inhale, sway back, cow. Repeat a few more times. Honor the tempo of your breath. Finish on an inhale, opening into cow pose. As you exhale, return to neutral. Turn your toes under. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Pedal through your feet here for a moment. Work a few kinks out of the ankles and knees. And then when you feel ready to be still, anchor your heels toward the earth. Turn the sits bones up to the sky. Breathe into the back of the body and open the shoulders. 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, touch your knees back down to the mat for tabletop position. Lift your right hand and step your right leg forward in its place. Low lunge. When your right leg is bent fully, the knee will stack over the ankle. If you can bend past your ankle, lengthen your stride. Here, drive the pelvis forward, reach the heart forward. And on an inhale, express wide through the arms, fingertips reach to the sky. Exhale, turn the palms down, touch outside the right foot, and repeat 2 more times. Inhale, wide breath to reach up. Exhale, press the air down to touch the earth. 1 more. Inhale, big, wide breath. Exhale, touch down to either side of the foot. And take an inhale to reach the heart forward. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Stack the hips back over the left knee for half splits pose. Ardha Hanumanasana. 1 more breath. Be mindful of the back of the knee. And then as you exhale, bend forward again into the right leg. Anchor down through the left hand, and on an inhale, open the right ribs and right hand up to the sky. Continue driving the hips forward while the right fingertips reach up. One more breath. And on your exhale, lower that right hand down inside the right foot. Stretch here by pressing the pubic bone towards the earth. If you can lower to your elbows, lower to your elbows. The right knee here will continue to hug in towards the right arm. One more breath. If you're on your elbows, walk back up to your hands. Split the hands shoulder width apart and step the right leg back for downward facing dog. Breathe into the backs of the legs. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, touch your knees softly to the mat for tabletop position. Lift the left hand and step the left leg forward in its place. Low lunge. Bend as deeply forward into that left leg as you can. Knee stacks over ankle at your farthest range. Send the heart forward. And on your next inhale, reach wide through the arms, fingertips up to the sky. As you exhale, press the air down to the sides and touch the earth outside the left foot. 2 more times. Inhale, a big wide breath to reach up. Exhale, bow forward, touch down. 1 more. Inhale, big wide breath. And then as you exhale, hands move down to the earth. Inhale, reach the heart forward past the left knee. And exhale, straighten the front leg. Stack the hips back over the right knee. Flex your left ankle. If it feels like too much too soon for the back of your left leg, give the knee a micro bend. Continue to breathe. As the hips tip forward, the round is lengthened out of the spine. And then on an exhale, bend forward into your left leg, plant down through the right arm, and inhale, spiral open through the left hand to reach up. Continue driving the pelvis forward. On this side, the right ribs will reach to meet the left inner thigh. 1 more breath. As you exhale, lower that left hand down inside the left leg. Stay here on hands if you feel a stretch. To go deeper, lower to your forearms. The hips here are moving forward. Weight into the front leg and off of the back knee. 1 more breath. If you're on your forearms, rise back up to hands. Split the hands shoulder width apart and step the left leg back for downward facing dog. Breathe deeply. Allow the shoulder blades to turn on the back so the inside of the arm can face forward. And as you take your next inhale, gaze forward and walk gently up to the front of your mat. Set your feet up hip width apart and parallel. Exhale here. And on an inhale, come up halfway 1 time. Head forward, fingers back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, anchor through the legs, swan dive all the way up to standing. Bring the palms to touch and exhale, the hands descend to the heart. Release those hands down. Inhale, take a big wide breath up. Exhale, dive forward like flying. Inhale, come up halfway, head forward, tail back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swan dive all the way up to standing. Join palms, hands meet at the heart. Release the hands down. Inhale, another big wide breath up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swan dive all the way up to standing. Strong legs make a light spine. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more half sun salutation. Inhale, reach wide and up. Exhale, take a big flying dive forward. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, bend your knees. Step your right leg back for high lunge. Balance on the ball of your right foot. Inhale, reach wide through the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, push the air down to your sides. Touch to either side of your left foot. Inhale, wide breath up to the sky. Exhale, press air down. Touch to the sides of the left foot. Inhale one more time. Exhale, touch down. And on your next inhale, straighten your front leg as much as feels good. The hips move up and back. One more breath. And then as you exhale, bend forward into your left leg again. Plant down through the right arm and reach into a big twist, left fingers to the sky. 2 breaths here. If at any time you'd like to touch the knee down behind you, do so gently and without judgment. One more breath. And as you take your next exhale, bring that left hand down inside the left foot for a runner's lunge. Drive the pelvis forward. The back leg is straight or the knee gently touching upon the earth. If you'd like to lower to forearms, lower with care. Here the left knee hugs in towards the left arm for one more breath. And if you're on your forearms, walk back up to your hands. Split the hands shoulder width apart and step back for downward facing dog. One breath here. And then as you take your next inhale, gaze forward, walk right on up to the front of your mat. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Inhale, come up halfway, head forward, tail back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swan dive all the way up to standing, join palms. Exhale, bring hands to the heart. Release the hands down. Inhale, express wide to reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, step your left leg back for high lunge. Balance on the ball of your left foot. Inhale, reach wide through the arms up to the sky. Exhale, press the air down, touch to the sides of the right foot. Inhale, big wide breath to reach up. Exhale, press to reach down. One more inhale. Exhale, press to touch the earth, and on your inhale, straighten your front leg. The hips move up and back. Feel the pelvis turning forward over your right thigh. One more breath. And then as you exhale, bend forward into the right leg again. Plant down through the left hand. Inhale, twist right. Reach right fingers up to the sky. If at this time you'd like to touch the left knee down to the earth for extra support, touch down gently. Take one more breath to reach up. Leave the shoulder blades down the back, and as you exhale, bring the hand inside the right foot. Runner's lunge. Here, drive the pelvis forward and down. If you'd like to lower to forearms, take the elbows to the mat. One more breath. And then inhale, back up to hands. Split the hands shoulder width apart. Step back for downward facing dog. As you take your next inhale, gaze forward. Walk to the front of your mat. Feet hip width apart and parallel. Come up halfway on your next inhale. Head forward, fingers back, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swan dive all the way up to standing. Join palms down to the heart. Begin again. Inhale, breath wide. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, come up halfway, head forward, fingers back. Exhale, bend your knees, right leg back for high lunge. Balance on the ball of your right foot. Inhale, one breath to reach up. Exhale, touch down to the left foot. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend forward into the left leg. Inhale, reach up through the left fingers into a twist. And exhale, bring the left hand down inside the left foot. Inhale, heart forward. As you exhale, lower to your forearms, optional. Inhale, rise back up to your hands, and then walk the hands down the right length of your mat. The toes will turn to face the long edge of the mat. Wide leg forward bend here. Prasarita Padottanasana. On an inhale, come up halfway and reach your arms wide out to your sides. As you exhale, wrap the right arm around the low back and bring the left arm to reach toward right leg. A twist here. Roll the right ribs up and back. If it's possible to see the ceiling over the right hip, gaze upward. One more breath. And then as you exhale, gently unwind back to the center. Bring hands to the hips. On an inhale, squeeze the inner thighs. Power down through the legs to rise up. Reach wide through the arms to your sides and turn your left foot forward on the mat. Left heel in line with right arch. Inhale, add extra space between your bottom ribs and the top of your pelvis. Exhale, reach the left fingers forward to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Lower the left hand to the shin or ankle or earth. And on an inhale, reach wider, up higher through the right fingertips. Imagine performing this triangle pose in a very narrow hallway. Lean the shoulders back and send the tailbone forward. One more breath. As you take your next exhale, turn your gaze down to the earth, bend into that left leg, and split the hands down for plank position. Step the left foot back. Inhale at the top of plank on toes or knees, and exhale lower to the bottom, chin to the mat before belly button. Inhale, roll the shoulders back for a cobra pose, and exhale, release. Inhale, push down through the hands, lift the tail up, pass through table to downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, gaze forward, walk right on up to the front of the mat. Exhale to set the feet hip width apart and parallel. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, swan dive all the way up to standing. Join palms and exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Release and begin again. Inhale, wide breath. Exhale, take a big dive forward. Inhale, come up halfway, head forward, fingers back. Exhale, bend your knees. Step the left leg back. High lunge, balance on the ball of your left foot. Inhale, one breath to reach up. And exhale, one breath to touch down. Inhale, straighten the front leg, Parsvottanasana. Exhale, bend your front leg, plant through the left hand. Inhale, reach up through the right fingers into a big twist. And then as you exhale, bring the right hand down inside the right foot. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, lower to your elbows, optional. Inhale, walk back up to your hands, and then as you exhale, walk down the left edge of your mat. Turn all 10 toes to face the left side. Prasarita Padottanasana. On an inhale, come up halfway and reach your arms out to your sides. As you exhale, wrap the left arm around the low back and take the right hand across to the left leg. With each exhale, draw the navel into the spine. See the ceiling over the left hip if it's possible. One more breath. And as you exhale, gently unwind. Bring hands to your hips, squeeze the inner thighs and rise up on an inhale. Turn the right foot to face forward, right heel in line with left arch. Reach wide through the arms, Trikonasana. Exhale, the right fingertips reach forward and then lower to the shin, ankle, or earth. Inhale, reach up through the left fingers. Broaden the chest and back. As the tailbone moves forward and the belly button draws in, access those left hip flexors and obliques. One more breath. And then as you exhale, turn your gaze down to the earth. Cartwheel the hands down for plank position. Inhale at the top of plank. Exhale, lower to the bottom of plank, chin to the earth before belly button. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, push down through the hands, float the hips up and back for downward facing dog. And as you take your next inhale, gaze forward, walk right up to the front of your mat, feet hip width apart and parallel. Come up halfway on your inhale and exhale, fold. Inhale, swan dive all the way up to standing. Bring the palms together to the heart and lift the right leg up for tree pose. Use the right hand to draw the heel as close into the groin as you can. If you can't get the foot onto the inner thigh, place the foot inside the left calf. Here the foot will squeeze onto the leg and the leg presses back into the foot. Drop your tailbone down, lift the belly button in and open the knee out. One more breath. If you'd like to reach up through the arms on an inhale, express outward. If the arms are open on your exhale, bring hands back to the heart. Cross the right ankle over the left knee and exhale, sit into a one-legged chair pose or a standing pigeon. Option here to keep the hands at the heart or to touch hands down to the earth to deepen the opening for the back of the right hip. One more breath. As you take your next inhale, rise up through the center. Set the right foot back to the mat with great care. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, take a big wide breath up through the arms. And exhale as the hands come to the heart. Prepare for tree pose on the other side. Draw the left heel in high to the groin. And if the foot can't place onto the inner thigh, place the foot to the inner calf. Just not directly on the side of the knee so that the knee isn't compromised. And then send the tailbone down, draw the navel in, and open the knee back. Steady the eyes forward, a drishti. And on an inhale, if you'd like, take a big reach up through the arms. Exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Sit into one-legged chair or a standing pigeon pose as you cross the left ankle over right knee. Option here, keep the hands together at the heart or bow forward and reach the fingertips to the earth. Seat the hips as far back past the heel as you can. One more breath. Exhale completely. And as you inhale, rise up. Set the left foot back to the earth with control. Release the hands down. Inhale, take a big wide breath up. Exhale, dive forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees, step back for plank position. Inhale at the top of plank. As you exhale, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, turn the toes under, shoulders back, upward facing dog. Exhale, tone the abdominals in, downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Exhale completely. And then gently touch the knees down to the earth. Walk the knees forward and send the hips down for a seated position. Extend your left leg forward on the mat and bring the right foot to touch the left inner thigh. Walk the right hip back. Open the arms out to the sides and touch the left hand down on the left leg. Inhale, reach up through the right arm and walk down the left leg further. Roll the right shoulder back. See the ceiling or sky underneath the right arm. Breathe space here into the right ribs. 1 more breath. And then as you take your next inhale, rise up with ease. At the very top, begin a twist to your right. Reach the right fingers back. The left arm crosses to the right knee. With each inhale, sit taller. And with each exhale, twist deeper. Be sure the left hip stays on the earth. 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, gently unwind. Walk the right hip forward so it's parallel with the left on the mat. And inhale, reach up through the right fingers. Take a 2-inch spiral to your left and then fold forward over the left thigh. Janu Shirsasana. Take 1 more breath here. Exhale completely. And as you take your next inhale, rise up, reach through the right fingers. Exhale, bring the hand down and the knees together. Navasana, boat pose. On an inhale, roll the shoulders back, tip back and float the feet up off the floor. Scoop the belly button in here. To go further, reach the arms alongside the shins. 1 more breath. And then exhale, bring the hands back behind the thighs. Sit forward. Extend right leg forward and fold the left leg, left foot to right inner thigh. Walk your left hip back for our lateral stretch. Reach wide through the arms. Right hand touches the right leg. Reach up through the left fingers and then over the leg. The left palm will face down to the floor. Roll the left shoulder back and see the ceiling if it's available. If that creates strain for your neck, keep chin in line with chest. 1 more breath. Exhale completely. And then as you inhale, rise up. At the top, begin a twist to your left. Left fingertips reach to the earth and the right hand is pinned against the left knee. With each inhale, sit taller, and with each exhale, twist deeper. 1 breath. And then as you take your next exhale, gently unwind. Walk the left hip forward so it's parallel with the right. And inhale, reach through the left fingers. Spiral 2 inches to your right and exhale, fold forward. Janu Shirsasana. Breathe deeply into the back of your right leg. All the way up through the back of the body to the back of the head. And then exhale completely. And as you inhale, rise and reach up through the left fingers. Exhale, hand down. Bring the knees together. Boat pose for a second time. Roll shoulders to the back of the body. Lean back and float the legs up off the floor. Draw the navel in and reach the heart up. Option to reach through the hands. Option to straighten the legs. One breath here. And then as you exhale, gently set the feet back down to the earth. Scoot forward on your mat. And then as you exhale, lower vertebra by vertebra into a reclined position. Invite the legs to the chest and take a gentle rock from side to side. Pause at the center here and cross your right thigh as tightly over your left thigh as you can. No space between the legs. Gomukhasana. Grab hands around your feet and draw your feet down towards your hips. Hold efficiently. Relax the neck and relax the shoulders. One more breath. And then as you exhale, release that hold and switch sides. Cross the left thigh tightly over the right thigh. No space between the legs. Grab hands for ankles, feet, or shins and draw those feet down towards your hips. Relax where you can. Allow your nervous system to slow down breath by breath. Exhale completely and uncross your legs. Reach your hands inside your knees and open the knees out for happy baby pose. Hands either around the ankles or all the way up for the pinky side edge of the foot. Breathe into the pelvic floor and inner thighs. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, gently bring the legs back together. Extend in your own way down for Savasana, corpse pose, a final resting pose. The legs extend to the bottom of the mat and the palms are open up outside the hips. Turn your attention again to your breath, the three-part yogic breathing, where on the inhale, the low abdomen expands first, then the ribs, then the chest. And on the exhale, the chest deflates first, then the ribs, then the low belly. Breathe deeply here, and whenever your mind begins to wander, without judgment, come back. And slowly begin to deepen your breath. Invite movement back to fingers and toes. And on a coming inhale, reach up and back, overhead. Interlace your fingers, turn the palms away. Stretch from hands to feet. And then on an exhale, curl to rest on one side. Head either on the mat or on the bottom arm. Take one breath here to send a positive thought to someone you love. And then as you take your next exhale, set your top hand down, reach your top leg forward, and rise up for a seated position. Legs crossed or extended forward on the mat. Rest your hands down on your legs. Inhale, draw a big breath up and in through the nose, and as you exhale, open mouth to sigh. 2 more times. Inhale. Open mouth and sigh. And 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, sigh. Bring the palms together at the heart and take a bow forward to finish. Namaste.